Welcome back, guys, and in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to create a step-by-step process on creating a stretch cutout effect in After Effects. Before I hop into making this effect, I just want to say shout out to Povikas from Editing Visuals for actually releasing a cool tutorial on making this exact same effect. But for me, I'm just going to show you guys how to add your own flair onto it with your own coloring. So let's hop straight into it. Once you already have your clip imported, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure our clip is selected. Go over here to our roto brush tool, and I'm going to double tap on our roto brush, head towards the beginning of my clip. Then I'm just going to roto brush him out right here. Once after I'm done rotoscoping our subject out right here, it's kind of wonky a bit right here, but I'm not really worried since it's going to be a rough rotoscope right here for this effect. I'm going to go over here to my preview tab, and I'm just going to go to our frames and play it there. Then like for right here, we spot any problems. I'm just going to go over here to our tool, enlarge our paintbrush, and just cut it out. Just cut it out right there. Once after going through our full roto brush and checking it out, I'm actually gonna cut our clip down since I'm not gonna be using that part. And once after you're done rotoscoping your clip, you wanna head over here and click on freeze. It's gonna actually freeze our roto brush. The purpose of freezing your roto brush is to actually make sure that if we're using the tool and we accidentally select anything like right here, it's not gonna mess with our roto brush, and it's gonna keep it in place so we cannot make any mistakes or we can't mess with it anymore. So once after I'm done making our roto brush, I'm gonna head to our composition. Then you can see that there's a full cutout right here. Again, it switches out right here, but I'm not really fully worried about it. If you really want to, you can feather it out and bring up our shift edge, or you can bring it down. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it at 0. You can see, apart from that, I'm gonna duplicate our clip right here. I'm gonna push this out right here. Then I'm gonna head towards the bottom of our clip. Then I'm gonna get rid of our roto brush. Basically, getting rid of the actual roto brush effect on the bottom is gonna make sure that we're actually gonna be able to have it, so it's gonna be our isolated clip right here, which is gonna have the roto brush. Then it's gonna have the background right here. So for the first thing I'm gonna do is head towards our background layer. Then I'm gonna have our opacity at 100. I'm gonna push it about right here. Then I'm gonna have it go down all the way down to 0. The purpose behind dropping down the actual opacity is to make sure our actual clip does not have a full background from the actual video. So you can see right here, it has the background. Then if you go over here, it doesn't have the background anymore. And the reason I'm doing this is just to have it so it stays like this. Then apart from that, I'm going to raise it back up to 100, because in this part of the video, I'm going to make sure to actually show you guys how to make the scale effect like how you seen in the beginning of the video. So once after you lower down and mess with your opacity, I'm going to highlight all of our keyframes and then easy ease them. Once after that, I'm going to head towards our clip with the roto brush. Then I'm going to head towards our scale. Then you want to head towards about right here. Click on our time watch to create our first keyframe. Then this is where you want to exactly start messing with our scale. So want to make sure right here on our chain link, and you want to unlink it so we can actually mess with the scale. You can see right here the opacity is not fully done yet right here on this frame. So if I were you, put our scale right here. So once it starts fading to actual black, we can start messing with our scale. So just go right here and start messing with our scale. If you were to have a longer clip, it would be the ideal length to actually use this effect. But just for today, I'm using a much shorter clip. So once after you're done messing with your scale, I'm gonna highlight all of our keyframes, then easy ease them. Then I'm gonna close it out right here. I'm gonna close it out right there. And then once after adding scale, I'm gonna click on our video right here. Then we're gonna add exposure, and for this effect, it's gonna give a flashing effect towards our scale right here. So we're gonna have our exposure right here as our first keyframe. And then we're just gonna bring up our exposure on our clip right here. Then we're just gonna copy and paste it right here. Then we're gonna get the middle one right here. Then we're gonna get this one. Just want to go ahead and copy and paste it all around. Yeah, guys, so you just want to keep on going forward and copy and pasting our clip right here. Obviously, it will be the best to just have this one right here where it's fully resetting back to our clip right here. And you can see how our clip flashes through, but it might be a bit too quick. So if I were you, maybe get rid of a couple of our keyframes right here. I'm gonna get rid of actually this one. I'm gonna put it to 0. Then I'm gonna have this one right here. Then I'm gonna swap places with this one. So yeah, you can obviously mess around with the exposure for this effect. You don't really have to follow the actual keyframes I'm using. I'm just messing around with the scale and the exposure. You can mess around and see what suits you the most for your own effect or clip. So once after I'm done messing around with our exposure keyframes, I'm gonna highlight all of our exposure keyframes. Then I'm gonna ease them. Then to fully tie in this effect and give it a nice and really cool color effect, I'm gonna go right here. Then for the first effect I'm gonna add is noise. Gonna go right here and make sure I'm gonna add 10 right here and make sure our color noise right here it's unticked, so it's not gonna be affecting none of the color noise. Once after that, the next effect I'm gonna add is colorama. And what I'm actually gonna do is to prevent our actual clip right here, our background, from being affected from the colorama, we actually want to do is highlight both of our layers right here, which is going to be our exposure, our adjustment layer, and our rotoscope clip layer right there. Then we're going to right click and pre-comp it. Then I'm just going to put rotoscope, then going to add plus ADG for adjustment layer. This is going to be the pre-composition where it's holding our rotoscope layer and our adjustment layer. It's going to go right here and cut it down. So I'm going to re-enable it right here. Then it's only going to affect our rotoscoped layer right here. You want to go to our preset palette right here, head over here, then you want to put it on fire. It's going to give a nice and red effect. You want to head over here to modify, go to all, then bring it all the way down and check off hue or select hue. Then I'm going to close these out. Then for the next effect I'm going to add is, whoops, zoom that back in. I'm going to add glow. I'm going to put a glow threshold at 32.2. Then our radius at 171. I'm going to highlight that right there. And it's going to give a nice glowing effect. If you really want to get rid of this white glowing effect where it's too harsh around the corners, you can obviously decrease our radius right here. Increase it, decrease it a bit, then increase our threshold a good amount right here. Click that off. Then you want to head towards our rotoscoped effect right here. You want to go to our opacity, bring it down to 0. Then you want to head towards about right where it's happening, so about to 100, and it's going to start giving this nice red effect, where it's going to start giving our cutout effect. Then right before it ends right here, I'm actually gonna copy our keyframe, then paste it. I'm gonna push it back one more frame, head towards the end, and put it down to 0. All the way over here. Let me correct it. Then you can see how it starts fading in. Then the effect happens, then it starts to cool off right here. You can obviously, we highlight all of our keyframes, then ease them. Then we're gonna head back into our composition, double clicking on it. Then we're gonna head back to our clip and then check our scale. So I actually might push this one frame back. So that's time to reset. So We'll go back to my pre-comp right here. Apart from that, that is how you create a stretch cutout effect in After Effects. Apart from that, I hope you guys learned something new and valuable today. If you did, I would appreciate if you were to subscribe, like, or leave a comment. Keep on working hard, chase your dreams, and keep on staying creative. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.